Hello once again to the SourceFed podcast here at youtube.com/SourceFed. I'm Sam Basher, your host for the evening. With me on this magical episode is Mr. Matthew D. Lieberman on to my left.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for having me back.
Thank you. I love the blue shirt.
Thanks.
And to my right is Ms. Raina Scully. I love the jacket.
Thank you.
Why do jackets have that zipper thing on the left arm now?
I don't
It's a
know,
pouch. They've been putting pouches there.
It's
had
for
bought
condoms.
One. Condoms or...
Condoms,
That's a big condom.
business cards.
No, you put a couple.
Couple. Yeah, you could stick a USB in here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably
USB.
if you vape, your vaping stuff's gonna go in there.
I
Do
actually
you vape?
No.
chose this one
Do you
because
even
of this
vape,
pocket.
bro?
Wait, I have a question about vapes.
Yes.
Is it only tobacco? Or can
No.
I smoke weed out of it?
Yes.
It's different kinds of vapes. Like there are vapes that are made specifically for marijuana.
And some with no
No.
tobacco whatsoever, just
Yeah.
smoke because they like to blow
What?
smoke.
Yeah, well, no. So it's either there's some that operate with e-juice, which is just liquid that has either nicotine or not in it, and then there's ones that
Juice?
actually
Like hookah.
juice.
Yeah, yeah.
And then ones that
Oh,
actually,
Jews.
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 Yes, that burn. No.
Wow.
Or there's ones that vaporize actual herbs that you put actual herbs in there.
And that's
herbs.
cool. And that's vaping. That's the title of this episode. Put
Now
a
I
thumbnail
know.
with that. What is vaping? We're going to talk about vaping. But also, guys, thank you to our sponsor this episode. Squarespace is the easiest way to create a beautiful website, blog, or online store for you and your idea. Squarespace features an elegant interface, beautiful
Elegant.
templates,
Beautiful.
and incredible 24/7 customer service.
Incredible.
Service.
Incredible. Try Squarespace at squarespace.com/SF and enter the code SourceFed at checkout to get 10% off. Squarespace is pretty cool. But Ian,
Squarespace, yeah, beautiful.
you guys know Ian? He works here.
Yes.
You guys know Ian? He's a
I
good-
love
He's a
Ian.
good guy. He's a good guy. He asked me to talk about VidCon for a little bit because we're going to
Oh,
VidCon.
Ian, you're asking for too
Spoilers.
much.
Spoilers, we're going
Making
to VidCon.
assumptions.
Ah.
But we wanted to let you guys know that SourceFed and Phil
Phil
in the building.
DeFranco.
That's the
Philip
man.
DeFranco.
We're going to be doing a Q&A at VidCon if you're going to be there on Thursday from 11 to 12, and a meet and greet on Friday from 5 to 7. It's a long one. It's going to be fun.
Damn, that's 2 hours.
Yeah, it's a long one.
Normally we do it. I think we've done it in the past even longer than that.
I think the
But
2014 one was the freaking longest one
That
ever.
one was 4 hours.
You felt every minute.
My knee started shaking.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, these are a lot of hugs.
You know when they do marathons and you run by and get like those like
Yeah.
quick packs of like
Yeah.
protein mix? You're like, we'll give you guys
Yeah.
some of those.
Just inject it right into
you
me.
know, we'll be around. Like I think just about all of us are doing panels and you know going to be wandering around for the whole weekend. So
Some
we're
of us
gonna
will be
at VidCon.
gaming with you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what are you
right.
going to be doing?
So I am doing with Steve and Bree. We're doing a nuclear family sketch comedy Q&A.
Hell yeah.
On Thursday afternoon, following the SourceFed Q&A.
Nice.
And then I'm also moderating a panel called "Comedy's the Best Medicine" on Saturday, featuring Mike Falzone, which is
Oh,
going to be
wunderbar.
really, really sweet.
That's nice.
Yeah, and otherwise just kind of hanging out. I'm really excited about the fact that it's a lot chiller for us.
Yes,
this year.
Yeah.
such a
So,
big deal.
Like last year, I didn't even get to walk the floor at all. Like
No,
there's a
no.
lot of stuff that I want to do.
Yeah.
I didn't go
Yeah, what about
last
you,
year.
Raina?
Well, aside from what is it, panels and not panels, aside from like the Q&A and
meetups.
the meetups together.
and the meet and greet.
I believe Maud and I are going to be gaming
Dope.
with people.
Yeah.
probably.
But like we weren't told anything else. So we're
Yeah.
like, do you want us to bring our DSs? Like, what game are we gonna play? And they're like, we don't know.
Yeah.
Bring everything.
So we'll see. Yeah.
Bring a duffel bag with everything in it.
Oh, God.
Always
Bring
come
your
prepared.
Wii U, bring everything.
Bring everything, but mine too, my personal ones.
Yeah.
For
Just so
me-
people can break it.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so fun, right?
I
we
would-
could plug it in the hotel room and play it.
Oh shit! Never mind. Maybe I really should bring it. Okay.
Raina,
I've
bring your
always
Wii U,
wanted to
let's
do
just
that.
Okay. That's a
I'll
good
be
plan.
doing it.
And Sam, what will you be doing?
Doctor Who
Hooray.
panel. I'll be
Ooh.
on a Doctor Who panel.
Are you a Doctor Who expert? Are you a Whovian,
Hey,
sir?
we can cut to a pic real quick of me dressing like the Doctor for at least a year of my
At least
life.
a full
Wait,
year
is
of your
that
life.
does that couple the bow time?
Yeah.
Bow tie time? Bow tie.
It faded out to just bow ties, but that was
I
all
love that.
stemmed from one thing.
From
Sam,
the 11th Doctor.
How many bow ties do you own?
There's a lot. I haven't worn them in a good while.
In a hot minute.
In a hot minute.
Yeah.
But there's a million in there. And
I'd like to see them come back because I feel like now they're a totally different take on the bow tie. It's going to be more understated and chill.
Yeah, maybe you wear
I'll slide it in
vertically.
like once a month. I'll get
Yeah.
one bow tie in.
There you go.
Don't make it a big deal. No one talks
Yeah.
about it. Just like it's there. Speaking of which, one time I wore the Doctor Who outfit to a stand-up comedy event, and I sat in the back. I don't know why. I was like, they're like, dress up, and I was like, that's what I went with. And I'm like, duh, of course they're gonna make fun of me if I get there, which isn't a big deal for me. But I was like, I'll try to hide so not every single comic makes fun of me. But I wasn't seen until the very end of the last person's set, and all he went to were insults. And I was like, I wasn't hurt, but it was like the audience just didn't react to it. And I was like,
So it was literally
I
just
feel-
like an open bullying fest.
yeah, I was like,
It just wasn't funny. It was just straight up insults.
No.
that's why you got to be careful, kids.
Now, Sam,
Don't dress
before
up
the
as
show, we were
Doctor Who.
talking about Doctor Who
Oh, yeah.
episodes, and you don't know a lot about like pre-2005 Doctor Who.
And I feel like they're gonna lob a lot of those questions to me.
Okay. Good. Like anybody who likes Doctor Who and wants to watch classic Doctor Who, it can be kind of like boring and like it takes you aback the first time you watch it because the pace is very different and like it's very old school and a lot of the sets are super janky and stuff like that. Best story to start with, I think, is a story called City of Death. It was available on Amazon. I'm not sure if it's still there anymore. I know all of Doctor Who, I think, is either on Amazon. Is all on Amazon now.
Is it on Hulu? Because Hulu picked up a bunch. I know.
Then
that,
maybe it's
yeah.
on Hulu because one of the streaming services got the rights to all of Doctor Who.
Okay.
City of Death is a fourth Doctor story. It's a Tom Baker story
course.
written by Douglas Adams, who wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
No way.
Yeah, and it's shot on location in Paris. The villain is Julian Glover, who is the bad guy in Indiana Jones 3.
Dope.
And is Grand Maester Pycelle on Game of Thrones right now.
No!
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a really fun story, and it's kind of cool because the Doctor's companion at the time is Romana, who's a time lady, and in real life, Tom Baker and that woman fell in love and got married, and this is the episode where they fell in love, so you can kind of see that happening, and it's it's just a cool, fun, quirky story, and it's if you like that, it takes the edge off for the other ones. I feel like that's a good barometer. If you can get through that and have fun, because it's 2 hours, then I think you can watch other
Oh,
stuff.
yikes. It's 2 hours?
Yeah, well, all
Wait,
of
is
them,
that dude? Does it take? Is it the Daleks a big part of that story? Because I think I've heard of it.
No, the
it's
Daleks
not, then I'm
are
thinking of
not
this-
in that
definitely different.
story. Every episode of Doctor Who, the classic show, is a serial composed of 4 to 8, sometimes even more half-hour episodes.
Ah, I see.
So it's a 2-hour, 4-parter kind of deal.
And it's all telling the same storyline.
Telling one story.
Okay, gotcha.
Telling one story.
So it's like an arc.
Yeah.
An episode is an arc. almost.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
The
That's
Caves of
cute.
Androzani is also an amazing episode. It's the last fifth Doctor story. There's a lot. We can talk after this.
We can talk after. But you know what? I was just thinking that if you're saying that's a good jumping off point for a series, I always have a trouble finding an episode of a show that I love to give to people to go watch to get them into the show, because I feel like I'm going to pick an episode that is the best of it, and then they're going to be let down by the rest of it. Yeah.
I feel like that's not always the case because, with Doctor Who, I could not get into it. I am
That's
so
okay.
No,
sorry.
you don't have to apologize.
But the first episode I was ever shown was obviously the Weeping Angels one.
Blank.
And I loved it. It was incredible. And it touched on all the things that scare me, which I enjoy. So it was a very good idea to show me that episode because I was very interested. But then I just never was shown more in a consecutive
Right.
order in a way. But whenever I want somebody to be into X-Files, I know depending on the person, I know exactly which 4 episodes to show them.
Which 4 episodes?
Well, yeah, because if Sam, I know what you're into, so I would specifically choose this, the one of the 4, or Lieberman, I would choose specifically this
Right.
number 2
but
episode.
the thing about X-Files,
Yeah.
though, is also the pilot of the show. The first episode of the show is also one of the series' best episodes.
It's true, but it's so hard to get. I love it because I know the story already.
Right.
But damn. Like Gillian Anderson's accent is damn all over the place.
Wait,
she has
accent?
she lived in England for like forever, so she has this really strange accent in the first episode.
She's not actually British?
No, she's not. She just lived there for like 100 years.
Huh.
I know. And she also did British theater. So she
Right,
was like,
and
she
she does
enunciates.
British TV now.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So she enunciates in like a very like Queen's English kind of manner.
Sure.
So she slurs a lot of really weird words. And David Duchovny is like, he's never green, which is incredible about him. He was like always Mulder. But I don't know. The first episode, just like what you said about Doctor Who, it's a little janky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
first episode of the reboot of Doctor Who is a little janky.
It's
It
a
is.
little janky.
Well, that's the thing. It's like if I'm introducing people to Doctor Who more often than not, I'll have them start with Matt Smith's Doctor because that first episode really sets a nice tone for the series to come. Like that whole 5th season is like, it's not a perfect season of television by any means, but it sets up a pretty solid story and knocks it down really well.
Yeah.
And he's really compelling to watch. Like there's enough there that people will keep watching versus the first episode of the original Doctor Who. Like it took me like 4 or 5. It took me really until the first Dalek episode to be into it.
Then you get into it because
Yeah.
it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
'Cause it's slow?
It's it's weird, campy, and you're like, because the first episode, spoilers, deals with living mannequins, and you're like, it's not as cool. It's not cool at all. It's
not
mannequins
scary?
like.
No,
Taking
Oh,
over.
is it like
really.
Oh Mikey? Meet the Foucaults?
They're just kind of. It's just kind of like goofy.
It's goofy.
Goofy.
It's goofy and like the tone of it is really like campy and it's the first season of Doctor Who very much is a kid show.
What?
Yeah, then it strays away.
Doctor Who
Yeah.
has always been a kid show. It has always been a family show that has then done scary episodes because they want to scare the kids. Like that's been the appeal. Is like you stay up and you watch Doctor Who and you hide behind your couch because the monsters are so scary.
They're quite terrifying, though.
Yeah.
Like, I would lose it if I was a kid and I
Yeah.
was like all excited about this show, and then it showed me that.
Yeah.
Even mannequins, I don't really
Yeah,
like. So.
no. The first season of Doctor Who with Christopher Eccleston, it touches on like some very mature themes and like some very big ideas, but not until the back half of the season, really.
Yeah, like where is my mummy? Like that's a messed up. That
my
episode
God.
messes you up, and we won't go
Whoa.
into a bit. You should go. You can go anywhere and find a list of episodes. I'd suggest Blink because that's just an episode that will always like stick with you for
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the one
And
you
it's
watch.
a great
Absolutely.
standalone. Yeah.
That's
It
an
really
awesome
is. You
one.
don't need to know anything.
Twilight is another one like that. That's the
Oh,
one.
with the
Yeah.
bottle episode, basically. Yeah.
It's like a Twilight Zone episode. It's
Love
done
Twilight
super
Zone.
on the cheap. It's just the Doctor is trapped in a small ship that's on this planet that it's the air outside is completely uninhabitable
Right.
to anything, but apparently there's something outside the ship
But you
that's
never
trying to
see.
get on. You never
No,
see
I
it.
love it.
Yeah, it's like super scary and creepy, and you don't necessarily need to know who the Doctor is or what's going on to enjoy it. Like it's those kinds of episodes are a good way to get people to bait the hook and then jump in with something accessible.
That is midnight is a that's a
A
good-
midnight, that's what it's
yeah,
called.
midnight.
Yeah, midnight.
But I probably will kind of like rely heavily on the new stuff because I know it like the back of my hand when
and
I get
that's
into it.
probably what most of the people who come to that panel are going to want to
Let's
talk
be real.
about.
Oh,
they'll,
yeah.
they'll wear the scar for the fourth Doctor and maybe a celery patch from like the sixth,
The
I think.
fifth
Sorry, yeah.
Doctor.
But
Bro, get it right.
Oh God, right?
Yeah.
I'll have cheat sheets down for that.
Yeah.
But what is one of your guys' favorite memories from VidCon? Because I have one very awkward one. I was meeting somebody, it was last year, and he was so excited to meet me, and I was trying to be nice, but he spit in my face immediately when he started talking to me because he was just like, some people just like, they like get excited and like they kind of
They
get
can't
like
help
the,
it.
Well, we
they get
spit all
that
the
drool.
time.
But like they get that little bit of drool that
and
like
it keeps
forms.
spraying at you because there's like a reservoir there.
Yeah, it got me in my eyes, and I was just like, you're kind of just taken aback. So I kind of didn't answer any of the questions he was asking me
Well, you
because I was
have to
just
blink.
like, I was like blinking and like trying not to. I can't physically react to somebody spitting in my
No,
face, and I
you
was like,
can't.
and then I'm like, do you want to take a picture? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, there we go, easy peasy, I can do that. What are you guys? Any favorite memories?
I
That could
guess
also.
two in particular. One is last year I did a brunch the Lieber Friends brunch of folks who watch my channel and who I had gotten to know from doing my Lieber Friends hangouts. And
that's
it was
nice.
like 50 people, and we took over a Coco's, and it was just really, really fun and nice,
Coco's.
and everyone was super kind. And there's one Lieber friend who she's in Nebraska, and she deals with chronic illness. She's an amazing girl, and we were able to Skype her into the brunch and have her be a part of it. So like that to me was like kind of the epitome of like fun and also feeling like I did something positive.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. And then also just hosting on the main stage the first year, 2 years ago, I was introducing Potter Puppet Pals, which is like something I like had watched years and years ago. And to just be out there on that stage in front of that huge crowd felt so good.
Yeah. Oh my God, that first year was so scary because it was immediately like, be on the stage. You're going to introduce
We had been
John
hired
Kozar. I'm like, why?
We had been hired like maybe 3 months earlier.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 months
And this was like
earlier.
our big coming out party or something.
But it was a little intense, and we
Yeah.
kept asking, like, can you give us details on what we're doing? And they're like, no, just get the fuck up on stage.
What, was it fly by the seat of your tail? Is that what it is?
There was like a hot second where I don't know who was at. Someone was asking me if I could vamp and just kind of like improvise
And
in front
fluff
of
the
the
cro-
audience
yeah, I
and keep the
remember.
crowd entertained because there was a missing act, and I was like, Bleh.
Oh, no.
Like by myself. I'm like, no.
You should do impressions then.
Yeah.
Just fall back on impressions.
but
That's
like
what I do.
really bad ones.
Yeah.
You should just be a very
I'm
bad.
just gonna keep asking them, throw out more impressions, and I'll just do Borat for all of
Yeah,
them.
that
you go.
would- see,
For
that would be great.
15 minutes.
Yep.
Do Borat.
I would be okay with that.
Now that's a piece of performance art I would be happy to watch.
yeah.
Yeah.
15 minutes
Same.
of Borat.
Oh my
a
God,
bad
I
Borat.
can't.
Oh man, weird moments at VidCon. If you remember, this was 2 years ago as well because I didn't go last year. But do you remember when Bowman was shooting with his selfie stick?
He was
there
shooting
a
one of his
girl-
vlogs with a selfie stick, and
And
Emma
there was a-
Blackery was like really upset.
So
And her fans just started attacking
upset.
Bo.
Yeah.
And like, oh my God, that was so weird.
I felt so bad.
I was like a couple feet away from that, and then I heard him getting kind of riled, so I left. I just turned around and left and walked the other way. So that was weird, and that was very memorable to me. But also, I was super, super nervous doing a Q&A panel because we were just hired like 2 months ago. And I'm like, I have nothing to talk about. Like, what on earth would you possibly want to
I
know?
was working the questions. I was trying to go through the audience.
No,
doing
to make
those-
sure they wouldn't ask like
Oh,
fucked up
yeah.
stuff.
yeah. But I just remember my favorite memory. It's when we got to do whales, and I got to come out in the
That
whale
was
costume.
Oh, that was awesome.
In my undies.
Yeah.
And your
uh,
skivs.
I was very scared when we do poses where we're jumping.
There
That
was so much hopping.
Yeah, a
There
lot
really
of hopping.
was.
And just like keep the hands down, make sure the dress part
Yeah,
of the whale
hold it
costume
down,
stays down.
And then bounce.
It was a very shaky situation, but I'm excited for this year because it's like it's much more relaxed. Like we get to just
Yes.
do our panels, and the biggest thing is we get to hang out with you guys. You're going to be there.
Exactly. Well, us being able to hang out is so rare, especially at VidCon, because we normally have a booth. We normally have
it's
like
normally
stations.
running from one thing to another to another to another.
or like hiding in your hotel so that you have
Yeah.
like 1 moment of rest.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are good moments. Those are good moments.
I often forget them because I'm
Though,
just sleeping.
I don't think it's going to be quite as crazy as it has been in years past because now more events are taking place outside the convention hall too, like in the Marriott and stuff. So it'll be a little more spread out. It's not going to be quite as packed inside the convention center.
It might be bigger though.
It might be bigger. Well,
That's
actually, it
true.
is
Ooh,
physically.
but they had those damn food trucks. They were so damn good.
They're always so damn good. You know what I'm really excited about?
What?
This is the first year I get my own hotel room. At like anything ever. Oh, actually, no, that's not true. I got my own hotel room for PAX and stuff. But this is very exciting.
is
This makes me
VidCon.
feel very
Yeah.
special. Like,
yeah.
honestly.
That's cool. I think my brother is coming too, so I was like, oh, he gets to
That's
come
so
into his first
cool.
VidCon, so I get to show him around. I'm like, and he's
I
wanted to go
love
every
it.
year, but he's got stuff that comes up. And I'm like, if you want to meet the people you watch like every
Yeah.
day, like you gotta go to the place that they're at. They're not gonna find you. So yeah,
Exactly.
I mean,
And VidCon always happens in the middle of all the conventions. It's convention season prime time
Yeah.
right now. So
it used to be at the tail end where like everyone's like,
Yeah.
no, we did it. We
No.
did it
Yeah,
all
yeah,
already.
yeah.
We
We're
did
done.
it.
We
We
did it.
We did it.
We did it.
But with that, I have a few little topics that I found and I thought would get us a little excited.
Let's.
How big of a fan are you guys? Are you nail that sentence. Hey Arnold, what do you guys think about it?
The best, okay, legitimately the best Nickelodeon show ever. Anybody can fight me on that.
Yep.
My friend very recently, he watches SourceFed too.
Oh.
Hey Pete. He put up this thing on Facebook that was like, Hey Arnold was the best Nickelodeon show ever. Fight me. And he started this whole huge Facebook argument, but it wasn't an argument because everything anybody ever posed out there,
He could fucking knock it down.
perfectly. And it wasn't even knocking it down. He perfectly argued every point to like perfect the fact that Hey Arnold was the best. And
It
I
was
agreed
the
with
best.
every point he made.
There's no one here in this building that disagrees. Do you remember any of his points? Did he have any good ones? Any memorable ones?
The points were counterpoints, like what about Rugrats or what about Doug? By the way, if you liked Doug, I'm so sorry, I judge you. Like
Whoa!
I'm so sorry.
If they liked it, or
I fucking hated Doug.
Doug was great.
No, no,
Ricky has had it with you.
No,
he just wrote you off.
And they get Skeeter and Pork Chop.
Pork chop was the only good thing.
Patty mayonnaise.
I hated Patty.
Oh, is that the beat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You killer tofu.
Okay, so I liked the beats because that was funny.
Yeah.
But he's so
I lost a little
lame.
respect. Yeah,
That's
but he
the
does
point.
cool
He's
No,
the lame
he is
guy in all of us.
His
Raina.
superhero
Ooh, Raina.
is
do
a
you-
quail.
I dressed up like him for Halloween 2 years in a row. I got the belt thing down perfectly.
But that I respect. though.
Raina.
If you wore it as a costume, I respect
I think that both Doug and Hey Arnold are very worthy depictions of childhood for this reason. Hey Arnold depicts the
coolest
person
kid
that
ever?
the person that we want to be.
Yeah.
Somebody who can make friends with anybody, who's not afraid to explore the world around him,
Yeah.
who has heart and emotion, but also can
Big
be
imagination.
funny.
Insanely charismatic.
Insanely charismatic. Doug is the person that many of us were, who can't get anything right, who feels like he'll never have as many friends as he should, who can't get the girl, who lives inside of his
has a blue
imagination.
best friend.
Whose best friend is his dog, because even his best friend Skeeter.
His
they're
name
not
is
that-
Skater.
They're not that close.
They're
My
not?
point. Well, I mean, they're not as close as him and the dog. My point is.
He's right.
My point is, they're both very worthy depictions of growing up, at least as a white male.
You know what it is? I think Doug, it just hurt.
truth.
Like every time I watched Doug, I got sad. And I really didn't like that.
But every time, because at the end they usually ended. Actually, every single time ended pretty happy.
I used to.
That's
because
why I think I liked the Beats episodes because they were so
That was a
like,
cool episode.
positive and like, exciting.
Did either of you guys have to ever like write journals for school?
Yeah.
I got away with this for like 3 months before my teacher actually like saw it and got really angry with me. At the end of Doug, when he'd be writing in his journal, he'd just like kind of scribble lines because they wouldn't actually write out him writing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just did that in the journal.
Oh my God, that's great. And you got away with it for months?
Well, because she never checked, and then when she finally checked, she
Bad
was
teacher.
fucking furious with me.
Yeah,
Oh,
makes sense. But
man.
that is clever as hell. I know. Whenever I saw that, I was like, "Man, is that what cursive is? Is
Yeah.
that what? Am I not
Yeah.
figuring it out?"
Yeah.
Because I remember I see like signatures of people. I'm like, "Oh, that can't be on there. That's fucking illegible. I don't know what the hell they wrote." But then I see that, I'm like, "Oh, it's the same shit. Like they're doing the same thing." But sorry.
Signatures look like that though.
But Hey Arnold, I think is better in my opinion than Doug.
Yeah.
Yes.
I related more with him,
Bar
and
none.
my God, this is the most like everyone said it, but he has the coolest room that anyone has
Absolutely.
ever had in any TV show. Jimmy Neutron had his own lair, but Hey Arnold had the coolest bedroom ever. He
Yeah.
could control it with his remote control.
It's true. And also, Hey Arnold doesn't like break the universe's rules. So like there's no real there's no magic, there's no supernatural stuff going on.
There's supernatural stuff.
There's some supernatural
headless
stuff.
caddy.
Yeah, and
Cappy?
also there was also the one with the train where
That goes to hell.
yeah, that was a good one. That was a great one. And they also had the one argument that my friend made on Facebook was that bar none, Hey Arnold had the most creative characters ever.
It had the best supporting cast
Absolutely.
of any of the Nickelodeon shows.
and even like one-shot characters like Stoop Kid, they were.
They gave away bags. They gave away bags at Comic-Con last year that says "Stoop Kids afraid to leave his stoop," and I
room.
have it. It's
That's
so
excellent.
cool.
But that's what I mean. Like things you can't ever possibly forget about.
Pigeon
you know?
Man.
Pigeon. I was just fuck. Yes, thank you.
What about the episode where Harold became a butcher? and he told his mom that you could get tri-tip for the same price as this brisket, but you don't have to marinate it.
Oh my God, that is so funny. I loved the one where Helga and Harold's career tests get switched. And Harold is supposed to be like a genius, and Helga is like, I guess I'm just a farm kid, which is weird because it sounded a lot like Stinky.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I also really liked the vegetable, like the harvest vegetable competition.
With
where they
Stinky?
built- Yeah, with Stinky.
Yeah, and the giant pumpkin. Or the episode where Helga falls asleep when they're seeing the musical Carmen, and it becomes all about
I
her life.
love
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That's a really
Damn,
great
this
episode. So good.
I wouldn't mind a reboot. Actually, well, they're making a movie, and
They're
there's a
making
that's
a
the
title.
whole
freaking
topic.
movie.
Yeah, it's
can't
called.
believe that.
It's called Hey Arnold: The Jungle Movie. Not really
Is it
sure.
about his parents?
Not related to the Jungle Book.
They did say that they were going to reveal
Oh my god! Oh my
the
god!
identity.
That
Totally about
episode's
his
still one of the
parents.
most heartbreaking cartoons of all time.
really
That was the
hurts.
last episode,
It
right?
was.
Yes.
That's what ended
It was
it,
the
yeah.
last one that aired.
That's a rough one to end on. That's a really rough one on the fans. They're like, "No, you're not getting closure. You're gonna
You're
be
just gonna
left
find out
depressed."
that Arnold's parents were adventurers who died.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's made up. Maybe it's made. I don't know. But
Oh, maybe like his grandfather told him that.
I don't know. There's
story.
like there's those fun
Grandparents
fans.
are so
Grandpa.
Oh my God! Remember the Rat King when they go into the sewers and he plays chess to get his
Oh, yeah.
grandpa's watch back, but then he finds out at the end that he's got like 70 of them. Anyways, this movie they revealed that a bunch of the cast members from the original cast are coming back, and this show was really groundbreaking because, and I learned this from Will, that most of the voice cast for the kids were played by kids.
No, they weren't.
Yeah,
wow.
and that's why the show was so popular. Like, that's why it was so groundbreaking for a lot of people, and that's because it was the first show to do that. To
Are
have
you
them-
kidding me? They were actually kids.
Remember the flood episode where they have to take the boat out of the school and they go down the
Yes.
street? Yes,
It's-
sorry.
I'm
having flashbacks.
I wanted
Yeah.
to do that so bad.
Right? I have like that would be devastating
Yeah.
for so many people.
So
but
many
how
people.
cool would that be if you got to leave your school in a boat? But they revealed that Helga's voice actor, Phoebe, Harold, Rhonda, Olga, Mr. Simmons, Grandpa and Grandma, the list goes on. Which I found out that Grandpa is played by Dan Castellaneta, who does Homer
Oh,
Simpson, and
yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's so weird.
They're all returning, and the original voice
can hear it
actors,
now.
right? Yeah.
Thinking about
Wait,
it, I
can you?
hear it.
It's so.
Yeah, because if
But
you listen
Grandpa's
to
so
Dan,
nasally.
yeah, if you listen to like some of Dan Castellaneta's other stuff, like when he plays the devil on Futurama, it's a lot closer to that kind of voice.
Oh my god.
Add more nasal, yeah.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
But the actors who played Harold and Arnold Gerald and Arnold will be back, but they'll be playing different roles for some
Because
reason.
they've grown up and they don't sound the same.
Remember when that picture went viral of the actor who played Arnold? And he's like got like a beard and he's like 33 now. It won't be the same.
I think we saw that when it was Halloween and I dressed up as Phoebe and Will dressed up as Gerald.
That was so cool.
That was
That was
funny,
really-
right?
That was
Yeah.
a really good costume. I want to go as Arnold. And then there's an episode when I found out that he doesn't wear a kilt; he just wears a long T-shirt.
Yeah,
that
it's
was
a long flannel shirt.
Yeah.
You thought it was a kilt?
Everyone does.
Everyone did at least for a while.
Yeah.
Until they found that
Oh.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an episode where I think he ties it, not on himself, but like he like takes it off and then you know what it is.
Are they in like
and-
the desert or something?
Yeah, he wears it
Yeah.
on his head like a
Yeah.
turban or something.
Yeah, it's the where they have to like try to break open the fire hydrant because it's really hot outside.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
Oh my god, every winter episode of Hey Arnold is my favorite. Anytime it's snowing in the episode is my favorite.
Or the
All the
Christmas
holiday
episode. The
episodes.
Christmas
I
episode.
was just gonna say.
where-
Mr. Wynn? Oh, I just got chills.
Yeah, girl.
Wait, you know what the saddest episode is other than the last one?
What?
Mr. Simmons' Thanksgiving.
Which happens in that?
Where his family is like a freaking mess, and he makes the students do like a Thanksgiving performance, like a stage performance, and it's like a perfect family, and everybody like treats each other with respect and loves each other, and everybody brings like food, like potluck, and it's supposed to be like a reflection on what he wants because Helga and Arnold go to Mr. Simmons' house just to like check out what's happening or whatever, and I think not that nobody's there, but like the family is horrendous. Like they fight with each other, they hate each other, and Simmons is like trying so hard to keep the peace and like have everybody like respect one another and like thank each other for their existence and stuff, and they just like hate each other, and
Right.
it's really depressing.
What about like the subversiveness of Helga's mom is clearly an
alcoholic?
Oh yeah.
And they did not want Helga. Like they only wanted Olga.
Yeah.
Yeah. No
it's
wonder
really
she's a
messed up.
bully.
Why does
Yeah.
Olga have an accent? Does she have
No,
an
she's
accent?
just like very preppy.
Yeah.
She's very preppy.
She's got
preppy.
a preppy
But she
voice.
talks like, oh, little sister.
Yeah. Is she like a voice act? Wait, she's played by
Sister.
Olga. Oh no,
I
don't know who
missed
that is.
you. And she had mascara on, so whenever she cried, it would bleed black. I never understood that as a kid. I really didn't get that.
I
was like,
wanted
this
that
girl's
to
a
happen
demon.
more when I was older, but I'm like, nah, it's not gonna happen. One of my favorite jokes on Parks and Rec is that one of the rules of the house when Ben moves in is that he has to always wear mascara when a sad movie's on, so they can check if he's crying or not.
Oh,
That's
that's great. I
That's a
forgot
good
about
joke.
that.
I actually kind of want to try that for a video. That'd
That's
be fun
so
to
funny.
see if
Like,
it works the
who's
same.
secretly crying?
Yeah, let's see if we can make like it drip like in the
Ooh,
cartoons.
Terms of endearment cry challenge or opening of Up cry challenge.
Oh god, no! Up is so rough. I can't ever watch
Opening
that
of
movie again.
every Disney movie, every Pixar movie. Sorry, let's be specific. Let's be
I
sad.
finally watched Big Hero 6.
What?
I finally watched
It's
it over the
great.
weekend.
Just recently?
It's great, but it's like the first Disney movie or Pixar Disney movie in a long time that didn't make me cry at all.
It didn't make me
didn't make
cry
you
either,
cry?
but it dealt with when he had the
Grief,
breakdown,
right,
with
yeah.
grief, and it dealt with it with the most realistic way that I've seen, with a big puffy man that we all have that we can talk to and throw out of buildings
Very
and
realistic.
stuff. Very realistic.
Yeah.
That movie,
But that
made
movie
me cry.
rules.
It's
really
like
good movie.
incessantly cry.
It's a really good movie.
We got a chance to see Finding Dory a little ahead of time, and
Oh yeah, I
boy,
saw it
and I
on
won't.
Instagram. I think, yeah.
Yeah, I won't go into it, but man, he'll wreck
wreck
me.
ya?
Oh,
It wrecked me. I didn't
no.
cry on purpose because I was just like, and we're gonna hold it in.
Oh,
And I don't
no.
like saying that because then people are like, oh, I'm going to go in preparing to cry, and then they don't. So just go watch the movie without hearing anything from me. I'm just saying I
but
enjoyed it.
Oh god, I want to
Yeah.
ask so many questions.
Yeah, but I'm not going to tell you.
I know you're not
Yeah,
gonna tell me.
I'm not going to tell you.
Is it a worthy follow up?
Yes.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What,
Did you guys see
really?
Good Dinosaur? Probably
No.
not, right?
No.
It was a flop, and it was a really big disappointment. This is like, okay, don't worry. Like Inside Out, that was really like a fun movie.
was
That
really great.
It was amazing, and that one made me cry. Oh.
Really? Inside
you
Out?
better
When the
believe it.
imaginary friend says bye, or what is
Bing
she
bong.
say?
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Who's da 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 da? Bing
spoilers.
bong, bing bong.
Spoilers.
Oh, yeah, spoilers, we're sorry.
Bing bong. It's so good though. Wait, what was your other guys?
It's been a year.
It's
been a year. It's your fault now.
Come on.
No, someone
Wait,
got
what
mad
were
at me
you
for
asking?
spoilers from a movie from the 90s, so I don't.
Stop.
People don't count anymore. Like they don't
That
count.
person-
Hey
yeah.
guys, at the end of the crying game, she's a guy. She has a penis. That's the end of the crying game.
At the end
Spoilers.
of Ladybugs, she has a penis. Remember Ladybugs with Rodney Dangerfield?
No.
Well, there you guys are in for a surprise when
Oh
you
my
watch that
God.
soccer flick.
So many ladies
Bel's,
have penises.
Balzone keeps bringing it up. They dress a guy up
end
to
of- the
fill
end
up the
of-
team.
The end of Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Spoilers. She's a guy.
You know what? You know what movie actually did get me to cry as a kid? Ace Ventura 2, when the raccoon falls off the cliff. And it's as a kid, as an
Spoilers.
adult.
Spoilers. for Ace Ventura 2.
That one's hard to find. I had that
Hey
one on
guys,
VHS.
spoilers for the Ten Commandments. Moses parts the Red Sea and all the Jews escape.
Wow.
Spoilers.
I didn't know.
Then
Everything's different now.
And he does get the 10 Commandments,
Yep,
probably.
he gets them.
Also,
Raina, you want to spoil anything?
yeah.
No, I can't think of anything I want to spoil like that.
But what were you guys' other favorite? I'm excited for this movie. Really, really excited to see
I'm
this
so
movie.
excited.
I know it's really like everyone gets mad about people like rehashing old things that we loved from our childhood, but come on.
They're gonna
But
stay
come
true.
on.
They're gonna stay true
Yeah.
to the characters in the story. Wait, but do we know anything about it? Is it about them as like adults now?
No, we don't know, but it
don't
will
know.
explore what happened to his parents.
Oh my
Cool.
god!
Yeah.
I mean, other than the fact that we know they died,
Yeah, I mean, like I feel like that. That's a fan theory, but I mean, like, yeah,
What?
they are
they kind of
they are dead, right? I don't know.
I think
what
they.
if they're not?
No, I think okay. So it's not. I guess it's not in your face, but they fly off, and it's almost
Yeah.
like the not Bermuda Triangle. It's almost like the Amelia Earhart effect, where like they couldn't find their plane again,
Yeah.
and that's how it ended, I believe.
Well, even if their plane crashed, it could be like a Tarzan kind of situation where their boat crashed in the middle of the jungle somehow, and they built it into a treehouse
Somehow.
Yeah,
Tarzan's got plot holes. Is what we're trying to talk about on this episode.
Oh boy,
I
who's
just
ready to
saw-
see the Legend of Tarzan
I
on the
actually am
big
excited.
screen?
I'm excited. It looks pretty cool, and the music is very scary when I listen to it.
What?
That's all
Samuel L. Jackson with guns. I'm in.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson with guns. Alexander Skarsgård, all kinds of naked and dripping.
Oh, nice.
Gorillas.
Gorillas. You got the
Gorillas.
leopard.
I
Remember the
just
leopard?
no. Oh yes, I do actually. I just recently saw billboards for it, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
It's from the director of the last 5 Harry Potters.
What?
And the next Harry Potter.
And the next Harry
Yeah,
Potter. So
Fantastic
it's like,
Beasts.
if you like those movies, you might like this.
How interesting.
But what last quick thing on this? Let us know in the comments down below. What's your favorite Hey Arnold, Harry Potter,
Harry Arnold.
Harry Potter episode.
Hey Arnold episode? But what was your other guys' favorite Nickelodeon shows?
Rocket Power.
Rocket Power
and
was
I've
great.
always wanted to go to one of those diners like that. Just I want to go to the Venice Boardwalk, and I would like Nickelodeon to make one place to look like that because I'd be very happy about
Does
that.
the fish taco taste like look like a fish? Is all I could ever remember from that show.
They got sand in the potato salad.
yeah.
And also Shoobies.
And also, that's the spirit from the episode where they make sandcastles in that sandcastle contest.
Do you remember that episode where they tried to do the perfect trick on a skateboard, like half pipe, but they found out it was a fluke because a tennis ball hit him at, at the right time?
Oh,
the
yeah.
mix something, 9 something.
Something like that. Yeah. But like if they...
McLateral, whatever.
The simulations say you can't do it, but he could do it
But he
because
did it.
technicality.
But technically he didn't.
Uh-huh. Rugrats will always be good.
Rugrats
Doug
will
will
always
always
be
be great.
I
It's
hate
in the
Doug.
pantheon of greatness.
I hate Doug.
It's amazing, and I love on the same level Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron, especially when they did their
Parents was fun.
their,
Fairly Odd Parents,
their
I like
crossover
now.
episodes. What? You
Fairly
like it
Odd
now?
Parents, I like now. Yeah. When it came out at a weird time for me. I think it was like I was like into the Powerpuff Girls, and then I didn't want to be watching cartoons anymore. And then Fairly Odd Parents kind of hit a stride, and I just stopped watching.
Kablam is the one for me.
Wow, Kablam! Prometheus and Bob.
Prometheus and Bob is just such a
my God, what was the
wonderful
superheroes?
primer for
Justice
like
League? No.
comedy.
No,
Action
Action
League.
League
Action League now.
Like
Lightning Girl.
You know, that's Thunder
Melting
Girl.
Man.
She
Thunder Girl.
flies like thunder.
Melting Man.
Melt Man, Stinky Diver,
Stinky
and
Diver.
The Flash. Yeah, but the thing about Prometheus and Bob is like, if you ever, like, if you're a kid and you just want to understand, like, on the purest level what comedy is, Prometheus and Bob is that thing. It teaches you all about the mathematics of comedy, frustrating the want, heightening. It's just like a brilliant silent comedy that's so very funny.
It's so good. And I love the Inside Out Boy. And what was the one where he'd climb in between the couch cushions and go into like that magical world?
Oh, God.
Oh my God, I don't even remember that one.
There's a lot of shorts in that, but it was a good show.
Yeah.
And I mean, Ren and Stimpy, you can never go wrong.
Sure.
Ren and
Yeah.
Stimpy used to scare me.
A lot
Yeah.
of people
Yeah.
like Rocko's Modern Life too, but that one, you know what? It just never worked for me.
Rocko's Modern Life creeped me out.
It is creepy. The first episode of Rocko's Modern Life is Mrs. Big Head aggressively trying to seduce Rocko.
Yeah.
She is trying
Oh,
to fuck the
Rocco.
shit out of
He
him.
works for a sex hotline.
Yes.
Also, Spunky has sex with a broom.
Yeah.
Like, has like a romantic relationship
With
with
the
a
dog?
broom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was like one of the first episodes I saw, and I was like, something happened in this closet, and little old me does not understand.
Wait, isn't it weird in shows that have animals as their main characters when they have pets that are the same animals in the world?
But Sam, those animals aren't wearing clothes, so clearly they're not the same.
And they can't talk.
But Pluto and Goofy are both dogs.
That is, I know, that will always weird me
Unconfirmed,
out.
we assume. It's unconfirmed.
It's the same character design. One has hands, one has paws,
Well, one of them stands on 2 feet.
and
The
has
other one
feet.
can't. The other one cannot.
Doesn't that seem a little like what
a
went
little
wrong?
bizarre.
Well, why are there more? There's more Goofies out there, but are there more dogs?
Are there more Plutos?
Yeah,
Oh, more Plutos.
yeah, and like Rocco is like a
He's a Joey.
He's a
He's
Joey.
a wallaby.
He's
a wallaby.
a wallaby.
yeah,
A wallaby.
but he's got a dog as a pet.
Yes.
Yep, just clearing that up.
Named Spunky.
Just making sure that there's nothing wrong with that.
What else do we want to chat about, Sam?
Sorry, I'm just a little concerned about
The
the
rights
whole
of dogs.
situation over in Nickelodeon.
The
But
rights
anyways,
of cartoon dogs.
I read this interesting article today. It was talking about a little old software called Tenant Assured. So basically, like if you want to go apply to get a new apartment.
Yes.
Like you're going to the landlord and you get the proper information. You get
Already the worst process ever.
Right, it's the worst. They're
the
going to do a
worst.
background check. You're going to do everything. You're going to fill all the forms, and then they can say to you in this theoretical future, go ahead and sign up for Tenant Assured, and then I'll get back to you. And you go home and you start to sign up for it, and it says, oh, please give me access to your Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Like,
well, what does give me access mean? Because technically you can read everything that's on my tweet.
It allows the algorithm behind this service to pull all of your pictures, your information, and look for keywords.
All your activity.
Yeah.
So even if I like, let's say I'm only liking bestiality stuff, they're going to know.
Yes.
Okay.
They will know. And even keywords that you use over and over again. So basically they can do that, and this Tenant Assured will take all that information and create a score for you based on what kind of person you are and hit all the key points of the things that you're most interested
whether or not
on.
You would be a good tenant for their building.
A good tenant.
Yes, based on what they are looking for from a tenant and their values.
Here's my problem.
That it's discrimination?
Well, yes. Yes. But what if I run a parody account?
Oh, that is brought up in the article I was reading about it, and they're like, not really sure. Also, what if you don't have social media?
Yeah.
And you're like, I can't sign up for this because I don't. There are people that just do not use social media. They do not need to do that. And,
they don't.
And also, they're thinking like ahead if they need to get a job, and they're like, you know what? If I had social media, I'd be tempted to like write something that I shouldn't, because that happens a lot with people.
Yeah.
And then like I don't need my boss finding out. And with this, the people behind Tenant Assured are also like, we want to expand this for work, for offices, and even people at home who need to hire a nanny. They can go use Tenant Assured, have people sign up for it, and look at their score.
It's like an internet watchdog.
Yeah,
a little
it's
bit.
very iffy. I want to know what. Technically, this is not illegal. Technically, this is all safe because you have to agree to it.
And also, your stuff is already out there. It's kind of up to this algorithm to pull the stuff that this person's specifically looking for, right?
Right.
So,
Yes, but you change as a person throughout the years.
True.
Like, if you go through my Instagram, the first couple of things are real lame.
Also, like, what about
Lame.
us? That's not very fair. Like, I'm all like, oh, WTF Japan, I love these, like, hentai boobies. Like, what? That's literally all. My entire Twitter is just hentai titties. So, like, what happens to me?
It means you homeless, Gua.
Yeah,
And like they don't have to use this service, but they can use this service, and they can deny you if they don't, if they do not like it.
It eventually
my
could become the
God.
standard. Like that's the thing is, I completely understand from the perspective of a landlord or the perspective of an employer why this makes sense and why this is attractive, because you don't know what you're getting into, because more often than not, other than a credit check and seeing pay stubs, you're talking to your new potential tenants for what? Maybe 20 minutes, maybe an hour, and then all of a sudden they're going to live in your building, and God knows what they're going to be up to.
Yeah.
That's true.
And with this, like, the article brings up a lot of good points. Like, maybe you talk about pregnancy a lot, like, and that like could mean that you're interested in having a baby, or you have a baby on the way, or you're planning on it with your spouse that you're going to move in with, like, into a 2-bedroom.
And that does matter to the landlord, of
So
course.
that means you're going to have a third, and it's going to be a loud new tenant in your building, or like another one was
a loud new tenant.
like, what if you like to party a lot, and like they can see if you're making the events or you're attending the events, or say you talk about loans a lot, or you lost a job. Like, does this mean that you're not going to be able to pay rent on time, or you might miss a
But
month?
here's the thing, though, it sets such a dangerous precedent in terms of, first of all, like, potential discrimination. So if you're somebody who is anti-gay, for example, and you get all this information and you see that they're LGBT, it can give them an opportunity to say, I don't want them living in my building. Not only
that is illegal. That is straight up illegal.
That is illegal.
Yeah.
That is illegal. But that's still a court case that could cost, the people who got kicked out of this building thousands and thousands of dollars that they don't have to fight this thing. And maybe a large management company might have that money. It also, like, once we're all living under a watchdog world, like, that's basically submitting ourselves to Big Brother in just so that we can have a home. Like, that's so completely messed up. Just the sheer fact that you have to fit into a certain kind of box just to be able to live somewhere comfortably.
And it's to this individual's tastes, like what the specific landlord wants.
Right, because we don't know necessarily what kind of keywords they care about or what matters to them, because the vast majority won't give a shit about hentai titties, and they shouldn't give a shit about hentai titties, because that has nothing to do with your
Living
ability to live there and be a good tenant.
Right.
But it's still exposing your personal information just for the chance to live somewhere,
and it's like,
which is wrong.
That
the
is
backup
wrong.
argument is you don't have to sign up for this service,
Right.
But with
It's
that,
voluntary.
it is something that is required by the landlord. So you could save that information. You can protect yourself, but that means you got to look somewhere else, which is unbelievably shitty. And then someone pointed out, in New York City, that there's an expanded list of categories that cannot be discriminated against. And of course, it includes race, national origin, religion, ethnicity, gender, but also source of income and lawful profession. So you can't, like, based on what kind of job you have, like if you say
Like if you were a sex worker.
yeah, like there's people like
it's depending on what the job is, not your actual income, because you can stop somebody from signing a lease because their income doesn't match up to what your lease demands. Like you need to have at least So like okay, so it's what your job is. Oh, okay. But being a sex worker is not legal. Being a prostitute isn't legal.
Being a prostitute isn't legal.
Okay.
But like
That's
being
different.
an exotic dancer, it's technically sex work.
Oh, is that technically a sex worker?
I think so.
I
might
see.
be overstepping.
you can let us know in the comments because
Yeah.
I know there's definitely people that
I
will.
apologize if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
No, let us know. I want to know, are strippers sex workers or are
like a
sex
cam
workers?
girl. Like think
Yeah.
about that. Like you're
Oh,
Cam
cam girls
girls-
are definitely sex workers. I see. Okay.
but it's like
But
is it though? Yeah, I get it.
prostitution is legal at brothels in Nevada.
Truly.
Yeah, so if you're
We're
in
learning.
Nevada and someone doesn't want to rent an apartment to you because you're a sex worker,
That's so silly.
you're not
Well,
bringing your work home with you. That's staying at
yeah.
the brothel. So I don't
That's
really
how
see
I make
the
my
problem.
money, so I can pay for this rent.
Exactly. So it becomes like I'm pretty sure we're all on the same page here that this is a little.
It's invasive.
But think of it on the flip side. If their example is a nanny. If you wanted to get a nanny for your kid, like if you needed that, if you needed a nanny, wouldn't it be nice to be able to use a service that can show you what kind of person this is in their free time?
Well, I would stalk them anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I
Well,
would
here's a
do-
service that cuts
it
that
for
work
me.
in half. Yeah. You don't have to do all the stalking.
Yeah, like I would never hire me to be near children. Even though I know that I'm good with children, if I looked at me on paper, never, ever would I let myself near children.
Really?
Well, I mean, not the stuff that I put out there is bad.
is
Is
bad.
bad. I ran
have
a show
faith in
called
you.
WTF Japan.
And then you can show the kids about Japan. all
Let's
that
teach you
fun
about
stuff.
sex, kids.
They're going to
Let's
learn
teach you how
someday.
to run a Honey Pop Cam studio.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? If you were in this position of like, if you were looking for someone to do a service for you, like at home, would you use this service?
No.
Really?
No.
Really? You would just trust them?
With your child?
With my child?
Yeah.
No. Look, I believe that the service sets a dangerous enough precedent that I would just say no. I would rather do what Raina suggested and just say, look, if you're going to hire me, I want to friend you on Facebook so I can look through your profile and see what kind of lifestyle you lead. I am going to check that stuff out on my own because it's my responsibility as an employer to do my due diligence. The problem with a tool like this is that if it becomes the standard, then everyone will be living under essentially a watchdog state, and that is wrong.
I agree. When Facebook stopped being a college exclusive thing and everyone had Facebook, I remember that in college we were specifically told to not post embarrassing pictures that you don't want your future employers
Yeah,
or
I
internships
remember
to
that.
see.
Yeah.
So we would all take great care in just simply not posting them. And it was a little bit before this time currently
Right,
where
and then-
everything is posted.
Yeah.
But like it kind of still feels the same because it's still public access. Like no matter what, you're going to be able to find my Twitter because it's not privated, So if you really do need to research me, it would be very, very easy to do so. But at the same time, now that we are in this profession, I would want it to be taken with a grain of salt to be like, this is a character that plays this role on social media. Because even on camera and on Instagram and on Twitter, I'm kind of three different people. Like kinda to a degree. Like my Instagram is far gentler, I would say, than my Twitter, and my YouTube is a mess. Like, you know what I mean?
That's a kind of harsh way of describing it, but sure, I get you. It's an invasive. Like a tool
They
that
would need
landlords
to,
could use.
Yeah, they would need to know how to like parse it themselves. Like, okay, clearly this is for their job. Like, obviously this is not what they do. Or like, what if I like was sponsored by a sex company for fun?
Right.
Like, it's not like I'm a sex worker. Like, I just got sponsored by them, so I have to tweet for them and stuff. I don't know. It's really dangerous territory.
We seem pretty much on the same
Yeah.
page. I think, and you can call me a hypocrite, but if I was looking for a nanny, I would consider using a service like this because that means that you're right. You should do your due diligence and go through all the services or social medias of this person if you think that they're a good match to see what they're interested in. See if if they actually are the person that you interviewed. But if I'm in that position of having to need a nanny, I don't have time to do that. So if a service can do that for me, why not? But that's the flip side of that. But the last little thing I want to talk about, this is me, I would like to talk about, the new Apple updates that were announced today. E3's happening, so we're all distracted.
I was going to say, I know none about
Yeah,
that.
I know, don't worry, I got
WWDC, Worldwide Developers Conference, baby, 2016.
Why would it occur during E3? Somebody tell me.
I don't know.
Bad planning.
Bad planning.
I know, they're doing it for just the people who are really interested. But usually,
It's bad for them too.
a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But there isn't anything too big. They're not and you got a new iPhone that goes into your hand, or there's no iPad that's the size of a table. All of it is just software updates.
Right. It's no hardware updates.
Yeah.
I was a little
Nothing
bit late,
that was
you guys.
It's not anything that was gonna be huge news anyway.
And that's
other than the people who
disappointing.
care. Yeah.
I saw a foldable phone on Facebook. One of those videos that goes around. It folds up like a watch on your wrist, which is fucking
What,
dope.
like a transformer?
Like a
Just-
transformer.
It's like a soft polymer that can be a phone.
Yeah,
it's
It's
pretty
like
cool.
a flexible phone.
It's real cool.
E-ink display.
But
E-ink.
how often do you guys use emojis?
Every single time.
You text? Yeah, I gotta know from you. I want to know from you. Do you use them? Are you an
damn
active
time.
emojier?
I emoji pretty much exclusively with my girlfriend.
Okay.
Like
You can have a whole conversation with just emojis, right?
no.
You can't? Yeah, you can.
Wait, do you do that?
Yeah, I do.
I feel like that
Oh my
just
God,
takes
yeah, I
too
do.
long to figure it out.
Are you-
No, for me,
No,
if
it's
you look at
great.
my recent emojis, it's like an arrange of faces, thumbs up, clap, a couple different hearts, and then the guinea pig one.
There's
And
a
that's
guinea pig
it.
one?
Yes,
you
of
know there
course.
is.
And they're adding way more. You gotta
Yeah,
go
you
look.
got an iPhone. There's a guinea.
Hell yeah.
There's a little
There's a
guinea
guinea.
face.
There's a guinea.
There's
I'm
a
checking
guinea
right
face.
now.
How do you guys like the idea of you writing a long, thoughtful? My favorite idea was that you write a long, sternly worded text.
Soulful.
It's got a lot of soul in it. But now Apple will suggest emojis for the words you use. You're like, you know what? That word seems good, but you know what would be better if you switched out with a face.
some-
But
Emoji.
imagine the next generation of what do I send her? What do I send her? What do I write back? And the people are giving advice on what to write, and then it's condensing down. It's like, nah, man. 5 words is too many. You got to make an emoji out of one of those words. You're overdoing it. It's like, really? It's only 5 words. It's like, nah, dog. It's 2018. No one reads words anymore.
Wow, that's real soon, huh?
Yeah.
I don't speak with words anymore.
That is every sitcom ever, because they always do. It's like it goes from email, then it goes to phone call, voicemail, then it goes to text message. Now it's like to messenger.
I
Did
don't
you find?
see-
You
I
don't
don't
have
see
a guinea pig?
I see this hilarious looking lion.
Oh,
Guinea?
I always use the ant.
Wait, hold on.
Let me get you to the guinea.
I
Gotta
like
make
the
sure you
ant
don't get
too.
the text message.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't
I
text
see-
anybody.
I see aliens all the time.
I
and
love the alien. He's
is
my
that just-
favorite.
is that just emojis that my phone doesn't have?
Have you not updated?
Yeah, I haven't updated in a long time.
Oh.
It's right here, Raina.
There's your guinea. Is that a guinea pig?
What?
It's a little guinea.
Did we find the guinea pig?
Bro, that is a hamster.
Let me
Listen, it might be factually a hamster, but it represents a guinea pig to us.
I get it. I
Oh,
get it.
yeah, that's a hamster. But we'll go ahead. Well, I mean,
right,
we'll concede.
Fine.
That's
It's a
so
hamster.
funny.
It's up to
Wait,
interpretation.
To me, it's a guinea. It's
Sam,
a
Get
guinea.
it?
I'm gonna
Get it?
straight up send you an entire conversation with just emojis after this
And then he's
episode.
gonna
and you're gonna
translate
figure
it.
it out.
All right, so with
You're gonna
this,
figure it out.
I'll give it my best shot.
No,
I'll
you're
try to
it'll
figure
be
it out.
easy. Trust me.
But I don't think it has the right same heart. But anyways, with this new update, Messenger's exploding. Apparently, it was too simple before. I'm fine with the way it is. But now you can directly react with thumbs up and other stickers, and you can draw images to people, and you can
What?
send your heartbeat. That's
Say
something
what?
Apple-
Heartbeat?
The Apple Watch could do that. It could read your pulse and send that to people, and they're like, "Look, I'm right there.
It's
I'm right there. I'm right behind you."
In the zone.
And now you're gonna feel a heartbeat in your pocket, just dun dun. Or
That is
what if it's like a
so
super
weird.
fast heartbeat, like someone just got done running and they're like, okay, I said this on a recent table talk, but I have a list at home of really bad scary movie ideas. One of them involves a Hulu ad, but now I know what my next one is that you're like, oh man, sorry, I just got an update on my Apple Watch. It's a message from Christy. Christy, what's wrong? And then you open it up, and it's just a really fast heartbeat. And then after that, you get an Apple alert that writes, help. And then Christy disappears. Start of the movie. What do you guys think?
That's great.
No, it's not.
You need to
no,
develop
it's
this
not.
right
no,
now.
it's not a good
You know what
idea.
it sounds like? It sounds like an old school Black Box TV episode.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Okay, Black Box TV is pretty great. But this is not a good idea. This is not a good idea.
I love it.
No, it's
it
not
should just
good.
end there too. It should just end with like, and you're trying to like find her with like Find My iPhone and stuff, and she just like disappears.
So you mean it's just a 90-minute ad for Apple products?
And then she sends a long string of emojis, and we're like, what does it mean?
Oh no!
What does it mean? And all the friends are saying,
And then she sends, and then it like we can't find her, and then she sends this next feature. She sends a new message, but it's obscured, and we swipe across, and it's her dead body. What is that feature?
No, she's like gagged with like a thing, and there's like a ransom note. All the
this.
features. Yeah, now Apple has this feater where you can
Guys,
send incognito messages
should
to
pay
each
you
other.
money right
Guys,
now.
send
Thank
us
you.
money right now. We're starting a Kickstarter for our new film, I Dead. I Dead, and it's all about Apple products and how we're gonna die because there's a killer. So why don't you send us all the money? We're doing it right here, SourceFed Productions. Hell
Guys,
yeah.
you know
guys.
what? We gotta end it. I think we gotta end it right there. Guys, send us your best horror movie ideas. Actually,
Or
reverse
worst
it.
horror movie ideas.
Worst movie ideas. I need thorough notes. I won't steal them from you. Promise. Won't steal them. But they make my day when I get those. But guys, thank you so much for watching the podcast. Make sure you go check out Squarespace, squarespace.com/SFNerd. Use the coupon code SourceFed to get 10% off at checkout. It's pretty great. Squarespace. Do all that fun stuff. Guys, where can they find you on social media?
Me? No. Me? No. Me?
Same time, go. No, Raina, go.
You could find me on my channel, youtube.com/Raina Scully, where I teach messed up Japanese and I taste test a lot of weird Japanese food. I had the sourest thing ever the other day. I'll bring it in.
You should bring it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll bring it in. You
I'd
will
like to try.
drool forever.
Yay!
It's crazy. No, it's great. It's great. And then we should do it with the mouth guards.
Ooh, spoilers.
Oh, it's a spoilers.
Spoilers.
They already posted it to Twitter. What are you talking?
Oh, they did?
What are you toking?
Why would they
wait.
post? Oh, yeah, you took a photo.
Yeah, Maud
They
was in
said,
it.
Maud, they told me and Maud it was okay. Everybody
They guys
said it
don't
was
like
okay.
surprises anymore. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman. You could also check out Screen Junkies Plus, where I recently won the TV Fights Championship.
Woo!
I am the champion of all TV debating knowledge crap.
Of all time.
Yeah, and Nuclear Family and more fun stuff on SourceFed.
Dope.
And Sam, where can they find you?
If they can't find me already, what are they doing?
I mean, they better be Googling.
You could just use Google, your good Google friend, and use Sam Basher. Basically, everything pops up immediately, but I can't fix all the URLs for everything. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all the fun stuff. Don't have a Wikipedia, but I don't really know why anyone really needs a Wikipedia. And that's where we ended the podcast today. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you go and listen to us on SoundCloud and iTunes. Just search SourceFed Podcast. Super easy. Or just watch it on youtube.com/SourceFed. Give us a like, comment down below, and we'll see you guys next time. I'm Sam,
I'm
Raina.
and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm sorry, what's your name? Where?
And there's a way to learn a name.
There you go.
This is many splashes and more than one.
Speaking of splish splash.